Hey there, so today we have another review, and this is another beer from Garde. Thank you so much to Mike for reviewing this one for me. And this is the Bluest. So this is another one of their spontaneous wild ales aged in oak barrels and then brewed with blueberries. And this one is also 7%. So I just did the Creek, which was 2 types of cherries. Now we're doing blueberries. So blueberries actually are not that popular of a fruit in sour beer. I think the most famous one would be Cantillon Blaubeer, and even though I have had a bunch of Cantillon, that one's eluded me. It's quite the whale. So anyway, we're not talking about Cantillon, we're talking about Garde. So let's dig into this blueberry sour from them. By the way, they are cap and cork and cage. Cap with cork. So very nice. Let's smell this cork actually. It smells like cork. It smells like fruit. It smells quite jammy actually. Let's dig into it. Ooh, look at that color. First appearance, it almost looked like wine to me. And yeah, in the glass, it actually looks a little bit like red wine. It's a little bit darker. Yeah, it's a little bit darker. But I mean, I guess a really, really rich cab would be maybe this dark. No, not really, this is really dark. So this is actually, you can see in the head, it's like purple, slightly pinkish, but yeah, purple. This beer is actually so purple that from first appearance, without seeing the head, it actually looks like a stout porter because you can't see anything through it. I'm like trying to look through the edges. Yeah, this is where you get purple so dark that it just looks like black. I mean, it's like blackish purple. Very interesting color. Ooh, yeah, that's awesome. It smells like Go-Gurt because, again, I just like when you add acidity to fruit, I always just think of yogurt qualities to it. But it has a sweet, sweet, intense blueberry flavor to it. Blueberry, when you eat them, they're actually not that sweet. They're slightly tart. There's not, if you just eat the flesh, there's not much flavor to it. If anything, the skin is quite important to offer tannic and sour qualities to it. So until you really like make it really syrupy and put it in something like blueberry pie, eating straight blueberry is actually not that, flavorful. And this sort of has that. There's a nice funkiness in here. I'm getting some butyric. There's a little bit of that, like what people call baby diaper, but it smells a little bit vomity. There's some fruitiness coming in. It's got a little bit of berry pie character, but also just like fresh, ripe berries coming in. It smells tart. Yeah, it's just a beautiful complexity of everything from funkiness to pie to fresh fruit to Go-Gurt so a range of flavors. Cheers. Oh yeah. So on that palate, up front, I'm getting what I was getting on that nose. How do I describe it? It's a little bit like dirty, like funky, vomity, but what I'm really getting is like musty grapes, dirty wood. There's there you go. It's got this kind of like dirty, woody character to it. A little bit like dry attic, if that makes any sense. These are some weird descriptors I'm using, but yeah, it smells old, woody, dirty, a little bit antique-y, a little bit attic-like. These are all thoughts and memories that we can attach to words, and so that's sort of what I'm getting. Light, kind of like almost like a light butter character in there, possibly diacetyl. Again, the fruit is pretty restrained. I'm smelling it on the nose, but just like the Creek, the fruit is pretty restrained on the palate. If anything, the fruit character is what I'm getting is the skins. It's got a nice, rich tannic quality to it. I'm getting a little bit of those tannins sticking to my teeth. It definitely has a lot of vinous notes to it because of so much tannic structure to it. So as I'm waiting, there's a little bit of grip, and it has notes of wine to it. Nice and dry, just like the Creek. Yeah, it just really well attenuated. Again, it shows you color. It shows you the blueberry on the appearance. On the nose, it just explodes with beautiful blueberry complexities. But then on the palate, it does its own little thing. It's a little bit more funky. It's a little bit more old, and it's a lot more wine-like. So this is a different spin compared to the Creek, but it's still beautiful in that it is drinkable, has finesse, beautiful carbonation to it. It's wonderfully dry, and then it's a lot more subtle on the compared to the nose, which is a burst of fruit. On the palate, it's a lot more light. So shadows in that way, but this one's unique again in the sense that it has that like dirty, old, funky, just this old note to it, old wood thing to it. And then the amount of tannin is a lot more higher. Yeah, a lot higher. So as for rating, this is delicious. I personally prefer the Creek, but this is very, very good. Just killing it. I absolutely love it. This beer for me is getting a straight up 96. Sure, 96. Absolutely amazing. This is the Garde, the Bluest. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.